A long time ago, deep beneath the sea, there lived a sea king who ruled an underwater kingdom of coral palaces and pearl-strewn halls. He had 6 daughters, mermaids of unmatched beauty, each more enchanting than the last. But the youngest of them all was the most striking, with eyes as blue as the deepest ocean and a voice like the softest wave. Unlike her sisters, she was quiet and thoughtful, always yearning to know more about the world above the sea. Their grandmother told them stories of the human world, of stars, fire, flowers, and the creatures that walked on land. Each mermaid was allowed to swim to the surface and see the world above when she turned 15. As each sister reached that age, she returned with stories of sunlit skies, ships with white sails, and lands of mountains and forests. The youngest waited patiently, her desire growing with every tale her sisters shared. At last, the day came when she turned 15, and with her heart full of longing, she rose through the water and broke the surface. It was evening, and the sky blazed with colors she had never imagined, while above her floated a grand ship adorned with lights. She swam closer and saw a young prince on the ship, laughing and dancing with his companions. As she watched from the waves, a fierce storm suddenly struck, and the sea hurled the ship into chaos. The ship broke apart, and the prince was flung into the churning water, unconscious and sinking fast. Without hesitation, the little mermaid dove beneath the waves and brought him to the surface, cradling his head above water. She swam with him to shore and laid him gently on the sand near a temple garden, where he remained motionless. Just then, a young woman from the temple appeared, and the mermaid quickly hid behind a rock. The girl found the prince, who began to stir, and he believed she was the one who had saved him. The mermaid watched from a distance, her heart aching with love and sorrow. She returned to the sea, but from that day forward, she could think of nothing but the human prince. She longed not only to be with him, but to have a soul, an eternal soul that mermaids were said to lack. Her grandmother explained that humans had immortal souls, while mermaids lived for 300 years before turning into sea foam. The only way a mermaid could gain a soul was if a human loved her and married her, sharing his soul with her.
Do you sometimes get bored on the couch? You don't have to. With our Dracumo coloring books, which are over 100 pages long, you can print out a suitable motif to color in yourself at any time. Or you can order a printed copy directly from Amazon. Never be bored again with coloring books from Dracumo. Link in the description.
Determined, the little mermaid went to a sea witch who dwelled in a place of darkness and serpents. The witch agreed to help, but at a great cost. The mermaid would lose her beautiful voice. In return, she would receive legs and the chance to walk among humans, but with every step, she would feel as if walking on knives. If the prince did not love her and marry her, her heart would break and she would die at dawn, dissolving into sea foam. The mermaid accepted the bargain and drank the potion, feeling her tail split in agony into 2 human legs. She awoke on the beach, naked and in pain, where the prince soon found her. Though she could not speak, he was enchanted by her beauty and grace and brought her to his palace. The mermaid followed him like a silent shadow, always near but never able to tell him the truth. He grew fond of her, but his heart remained fixed on the temple girl he believed had saved him. One day, the prince announced he would marry that very girl, who turned out to be a princess from a neighboring kingdom. The wedding was grand, with celebrations on a ship that sailed across calm waters under the stars. The Little Mermaid stood on the deck, smiling through her silent despair, knowing she would die at dawn. Her sisters rose from the sea, their hair cut short in grief, and offered her a dagger the sea witch had given them. If the mermaid stabbed the prince and let his blood drip on her feet, she would become a mermaid again and live. She took the knife and crept to where the prince lay sleeping with his bride, but as she looked upon him, her hand trembled. She could not kill him, for she loved him too much, and instead she threw the dagger into the sea. As the first light of dawn touched the sky, she flung herself into the water and felt her body dissolve. But instead of turning to sea foam, she felt herself lifted by the air, her body light and radiant. She had become a daughter of the air, a spirit who would earn a soul after 300 years of good deeds. Thus, though she lost her prince, her love and selflessness had saved her from oblivion. And so the Little Mermaid became a silent wind, traveling the world with the hope of one day reaching heaven. The story teaches us that true love is selfless, and sometimes the greatest acts of love involve sacrifice without reward. It also explores the longing for an immortal soul and the human desire to transcend one's nature in pursuit of meaning. The tale reminds us that even in loss, there can be transformation and hope. What do you think? Was the mermaid's sacrifice worth it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.